Hello to the Aerials and Saltos of Broadway Gymnastics. I'm Coach Alyssa and I'm going to start our lesson today. So, as always, please make sure that you have parent supervision and a wide open area for you to work with, preferably someplace soft like carpet, or if you're on hardwood, make sure that you put down enough padding. So, let's get started on today's warm-up. We're going to be working heavily on how long you can make your jumps and how high you can make them. So we're going to be doing a lot of leg exercise-based stretching today. So first, we're going to start off with running in place. And please make sure you do it on your toes. Let's get started. We're going to run in place, on your toes, and then I want you to do high knees. Try to get them up as high as you can. Good. Now we're going to do jumps on only our toes. So we're not going to bend our knees at all. We're just going to do 5 jumps on our toes. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now we're going to do 5 normal jumps. Make sure you aren't going to hit anything such as a ceiling fan above you. And jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now we're going to do 5 long jumps. You want to make sure that you have plenty of room. The goal of these jumps is to make it as long as possible. Let's do 5. 1, 2. Then you can turn around and just go back the other way. 3, 4, 5. Good. Now let's stretch out our legs. Just straddle, go down to the side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax. And try to bring your nose as close to your knee as possible, which should be straight. And switch. Good. Middle. Good. Now, stand with your feet together, and you're going to lean down and try to touch your toes. Once again, breathe in. And as you exhale, relax. Just let your upper body kind of dangle and let gravity pull it down. Keep your legs straight for now, and your heels flat. Now squat down, keeping your heels flat on the ground. Reach your arms up. Good. Now put your hands flat on the ground, heels flat, and you're going to try to stand up as high as you can. If your legs stay a little bit bent, it's perfectly fine. Good. Last stretch, we're going to roll out our feet. So, grab one foot, and roll it in a circle towards you, and roll it in a circle away from you. Point it straight. And then flex. Good. Now with the other foot. And other way. Point it. And flex. Very good. So, now in the next segment of the video, I'm going to show you drills that you can use to work on improving the height and length of your leaps and your jumps. So the first thing that we're going to work on is jumping exercises. So what I recommend is getting somebody to help you for this, so that you can actually see how high you are and whether you're making improvements or not. So I have invited my brother to join, who happens to be slightly taller than me. So what he's going to do is he's going to raise his hand up above his head, and I'm going to try to start off by giving him a high five. And he's going to hopefully not move because he's a nice brother. Okay? Once again, we're going to continue to push through our toes. Then he's going to make it harder. He can either jump with me or go up on his tippy toes because he is also good at that. And point your toes in the air, please. Then we're going to make it even harder. And he's going to hold something up above his head. And I'm going to try to touch it. And then if you can find something for your sibling or parent to stand on and make it even harder for yourself, you can do that as well. Thank you very much. You are excused. Good. So now that we've gotten our jumps down, now we're going to move on to the leaps, where we're hopefully going to push through our toes just the same. So now that you have practiced your jumps, we're going to make it a little bit harder by moving on to leaps. One of the things that makes it a little bit more challenging is that we're no longer jumping off of 2 feet. We're only jumping off of 1 foot, right? Because in your leap pass, you are taking off of 1 foot with the other leg already up in the air. So the 1 foot that is still on the ground really needs to push all the way through your toe so that way you can get both long and up. A lot of people forget that you should jump upwards in your leaps. So let me show you what I mean by that. So what I want you to do is picture an imaginary line from my hips going forwards and backwards. So it's just a straight horizontal line, okay? And I want you to pay attention to my hips during the leap. They will not move that much from this line. This is the incorrect version, okay? So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to start off by doing just a 1-step leap for this demonstration, okay? So here we go. So what happened is I was pushing off of this foot, but it only did it in one direction. It pushed off this way. What needs to happen is the foot needs to not only push to make us go long ways, it needs to push straight down so that way we can go up. So let me show you what that looks like. So what you should see is that your hips go above the line. You should see a rise. So here this is. So you should have seen my hips go significantly above the line, much more than I did in the other leap. So that's something that you definitely want to work on before we move on to the drills for the leap passes. So some of the things that we can do to improve our leaps, so we can stack pillows, or we can stack other things. I'm using these pillows because they're easily stackable because they're squares. So scoot this a little bit forward. So the goal here is that you want to jump over the pillows and land on the other side. Now, be careful that you don't accidentally take the shortcut. Instead of just lifting the foot and going straight over the pillows, you might be tempted to swing your leg out to the side and then to wherever it's straight in front of you. So you really want to make sure that you give yourself enough space to lift the leg forward and jump over it this way. No shortcuts. So once again, I'm going to do a 1-step leap, but you can also take it from 2 steps. No running though. This is not a running leap exercise. So I'm going to do a 1-step leap. If I can get a little bit closer. There we go. Okay? And then if you want to make it more challenging, you can stack them up even higher. But I'm going to show you the second exercise, which is stacking them this way. Now you got to clear it. Okay? So the goal is to land on the other side without touching the pillows at all. But we still want to keep our height. So in order to make it long ways, I'm actually going to take 2 steps. So I'm going to be starting out of camera, but you're going to see the leap happen in the camera. So I'm going to give myself some space. See, I'll start about right here. Good. And notice that I'm trying to land an arabesque because I want to keep my form really nice. Even though we're working on a jump exercise, we should still not neglect our landing or our beginning. Now, if you really want to make it challenging on yourself, you can start adding more pillows. So to start, I'm only going to add 1 pillow. Right here. Same thing, I'm going to do 2 steps and then a leap. Good. And then, let's do a second pillow. Why not? Let's make it aesthetic. Just switch it. Good. So, a couple things that you can do with all of these exercises. So I just showed you the most basic thing. I showed you a straight jump and I showed you just a regular split leap. But you can do different variations of all of these. So you can do a tuck jump, you can do a straddle jump, you can do a pike jump. With the pike jump, whenever my brother was holding up the folder, you can have somebody holding up a piece of paper or a folder or something else in front of you, so then you can not only focus on jumping up, but making sure that your legs go up where they need to as well. So then it's also, again, a visual check of where you need to be. In addition, you can make this entire exercise a little bit harder on yourself. These are ankle weights. So you can put these on and you can do all those exercises with these. And then after you've done it maybe a couple times, you take them off, and I promise you'll feel like you're flying. It's really fun. If you don't have ankle weights, that's all right. Just work on the exercises and you'll get there. The other thing that you can do to improve your jumps is you can do jump ropes, right? One of the things that you can do is you can try to do a double jump. So you have to jump high enough that you give yourself enough time to clear the jump rope twice. Now, that concludes today's lesson, but we're going to end with a little bit of a conditioning circuit to strengthen up our legs and our feet. Okay, so these are one of my favorite exercises in the world. These are going to be called toe raises, and there's a whole bunch of different variations that you can do. So what you want to do is you want to find something that you can stand on that has a downwards elevation and something that you can hold on to. So I have a stairwell at my house. If you do not have a stairwell, that is perfectly fine. You can find something safe that you can stand on, or you can go outside and maybe find a curb, and you can have somebody standing in front of you that you can hold on to for balance. So I'm going to show you what I want from a toe raise. So I'm going to show you first the forward view, and then I'm going to cut to a side view so that way you can understand what I mean whenever I want to see a full rise up on your toes and a full extension to wherever you flatten out your heels to push them down to the floor. So first, here's going to be the normal toe raise. So the balls of my feet are going to be on the stairs, my heels and the arches of my feet are going to be dangling down. I'm going to hold on to the stairwell, I'm going to go up on my toes slowly, and then I'm going to go all the way down. And then I want you to do that 15 times. So now I'm going to cut to the side view to show you what it looks like. Good. So now that you've seen the side view, I'm going to show you the rest of the toe raises and the variations of them from the front view so that way you can see what they look like. So the first one is where you put your feet out like this. I believe this is first position in ballet. So what you're going to do is your heels should be touching, your toes should be turned out at about a 45-degree angle. You're going to do another 15, the exact same way. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to go on one foot. This toe can be at your ankle. And you're going to do another 15. Go all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, and all the way down. And I want you to do this slow. And you're going to do 15 on the other foot. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Good. Now I'm going to show you another one of my favorite exercises to strengthen up your legs. So the last exercise that I'm going to show you is 2 lunge variations. So they are going to include jumping. So I'm going to show you the first one. First one is what's called a jump lunge or a switch jump lunge. So you're going to start in a lunge, and what you're going to do is you're going to jump in the air, and as you do that, you're going to switch your legs to wherever you then land and then proceed to go into your next lunge on the opposite leg. So what you want to do is you want to start up here. Your knees should not be touching the floor. You're going to jump, catch yourself, lunge, jump, lunge, jump, lunge. You want to continue to push through your toes. And again, it should be slow on the way down. And then you want to explode on the way up. The next lunge variation requires you to elevate one leg. So you can either find a couch, or if your bed is low enough, you can do that as well, or some other elevated surface. One that's preferably soft because you're going to be putting your foot on it. So put your foot on it, only your foot. What you're going to do is you're going to bend your back leg to kind of help you. Your front leg should be in a lunge. And now you got to balance. Or if you want somebody to help you, you can have somebody hold your hands. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to lunge, And you can start by just doing toe raises. So let me get a little bit more comfortable. So you're going to do toe raises. Up 1, up 2. And then once you get more comfortable, then you're actually going to add a jump to it, and it's going to look like this. You want to push all the way through your toe. You can do about 10 on each leg. And with the switch lunges, you can do as many as you want. But I want you to do them in sets of 5. Once again, for all of these exercises, you can add your leg weights. So, thank you very much for watching Broadway Gymnasts. I hope that you enjoy. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But until then, I'll see you next time.